Here's what you can do once you start studying for GRE vocab. If you know someone who is always ready to fight with someone, you can tell them, hey, you are pugnacious. If you know someone who is always secretive about their life and doesn't give out much information, you can tell them, hey, you are clandestine. And if you know someone who is always talking negative to you and pulling you down, you can tell them, hey, you fuck off, you asshole. Okay, now coming for the topic, I studied around 1400 words for GRE and I scored 161 in verbal. And to be honest, I was not that good at vocabulary when I started studying for GRE. I could speak good English, but I did not know any fancy words. It's only after studying for GRE I got to know about many fancy words and I started using them in my day-to-day conversation, and my friends used to get annoyed. Anyway, so here are these 3 books in which I wrote down almost every word that I learned. Not for sale, don't ask. There are 4 things that helped me to study 1400 words and score 161 in the verbal section. So I'm gonna share those 4 tips with you. And by the end of this video, I'm gonna share 2 bonus tips. So make sure to watch till the end. The first tip is, when you learn a word, write it down and a sentence for it and a synonym for it. For example, I don't know if you can see here, I have written down the word laudable, which means praiseworthy. And I've also written down a synonym commendable and extol, hail. So all these are synonyms of laudable. And I've written down a sentence which says his guitar playing was laudable. So I'm a guitarist, so I've related it to guitar. So make sure when you learn the word, you write down the sentence. Also, you write down a couple of synonyms. What happens is, if you learn 1000 words and you write down 2 synonyms for each word, you won't be learning 1000 words. You'll end up learning 3000 words, which is great. The second thing is, make the word relatable. As you can see in my example, I took the example of guitar playing. So I made it relatable. In the same way, you can use something that's happening in your life and use a word to describe that situation or that person and make it very relatable. Because when it's relatable, the word will stick with us. The best example of this is the word quarantine. Because before the pandemic, not many of us knew what quarantine meant. But now all of us know what quarantine means, because it has become very relatable, sadly. So make sure you make the word relatable. You take example of something that's happening in your life and make it very relatable. When you write down a sentence, make sure you include the word and the situation which is very relatable to you, because it will help you to remember the word for a longer time. The third one is very interesting. It is called spaced repetition. So spaced repetition means, if you study a word, don't study it 10 times in a single day. Study it once today, make it relatable and stuff. And just don't study that word for 2 to 3 days and come back to it after 2 to 3 days and see if you remember that word. And when there's a time gap between your study sessions, your brain actually remembers that word in a better way. This is actually science backed. So make a set of like 20-30 words to study for today. Study all those 20 to 30 words. Then study new set of 20 to 30 words tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Then repeat that set one after 3 days. And see how many words do you remember still. You can actually use this app called Anki for this. I have never used that app personally, but I have heard so many good reviews about it from my friends and from fellow GRE study mates, whatever you call them. So you can try out this app Anki and let me know how you feel about it. The fourth and the final one is, use those words in real life. When I say use those words, it's not like writing down a sentence. I mean to say, use them in your day-to-day conversations. Let your friends get annoyed. And if you're giving a presentation, throw in a couple of GRE words there. It will make you sound smart. And if you're writing an essay, use 2 to 3 GRE words in there. So when you start using the words, you'll start remembering them better. So make sure you use the words that you are learning. So these are the 4 tips, and there are 2 bonus tips that I'm gonna give you. Before that, I want to say thank you to everyone who commented on my previous videos. It feels great actually, and also all of you who DM'd me and started following me on Instagram. And also guys, you can actually hit me up on Instagram if you have any queries. And also I make short form content on Instagram, do check that out. Now coming for the bonus tips, don't spend your time looking for magnum opus of vocabulary list. There's no one perfect best vocabulary list. Let me tell you this. Almost all the vocabulary lists have 95% of the same words. So it doesn't really matter which list you are going to use. You can use Magush, you can use Kaplan, Manhattan, GregMat Plus, whatever you want. Just start learning the words. However, one thing to consider is the interface of the app that you are using if you are learning from the app. I personally like Magush interface a lot, and the spaced repetition that Magush provides is really great. So you can try that app, Magush Vocabulary Builder. The second bonus tip is use the app Quizlet if you have time, because there you can make your own custom flashcards. I used to do that. That's really helpful. So you can go check out the Quizlet app also. And that's all, I guess. Many of you commented and DM'd me asking for vocabulary tips, so I thought I'll just make this video. It was a very impulsive video, and I hope you liked this. And also hit the subscribe button. Don't forget it. If you don't subscribe, I'll steal all your official guides.